Hello and welcome to our class. My name is Mariana and I'll guide you through this lesson plan for 9th grade class on the topic Meet Young Nature Eco-Heroes. This is the presentation I would use during the lesson so that I could be guided throughout the activities as well as the students. I've taken into account that the class lasts 50 minutes, so the activities are split into shorter periods of time. And the goals here would be first to encourage discussions about climate change and its impacts, to recognize the role of young people in taking care of the environment, and to develop the student speaking and writing skills in English. So, to begin, as a warm up, I would show the pictures of these people and ask the students, who are they and what do you think these guys have in common? Now, keep in mind that as a pre-class task, the students were expected to read an article that introduced several young activists, including these ones. And they were also supposed to watch a podcast on reasons to protect the environment. This way, the students would be more familiar with the topic and the vocabulary they would find during this class. So, after hearing their answers, I would show the name of these people and tell the students that they are indeed young people who fight against climate change and other environmental issues in their communities. After that, I would direct the students' attention to another young activist, a Peruvian boy who won a prize for his project, and say that we are going to read a text about him. And while distributing the copies with the text, I would tell the students that they should use the scanning technique while reading. And that means that they should look for specific information in order to answer true or false about these three statements that we have here. So after some time, after they are done reading, we would go through the answers orally. And here we can see that the first statement is true. The second one is false because this boy has started running his eco bank when he was 7 years old. And the third statement is also false because before this prize that he won in 2018, he had already won other prizes involving environmental initiatives. By the way, if the students come across unknown words or expressions, they are allowed to ask the teacher about it or their classmates, or they can even look for the meaning on their phones or dictionaries while reading. Now we would move on to a writing activity. And the goal is for the students to collaborate in writing a short biography. So, in pairs, they should choose the Peruvian boy or another young activist they read about before class and write a 10-line text about their life. And this could be done using tools such as Google Docs, or they could simply write it on their notebooks. The students should also try to use cohesive elements, and I would go around the class to assist them when necessary, but they could also consult the internet or dictionaries. And here I put a timer of 15 minutes to help students with their time management. But it is important to highlight that in case the teacher notices that the students need more time to finish writing the text, they can be instructed to do it at home. Then later they would submit this assignment and the teacher would evaluate it and give the students some feedback on the biographies they have written. Next, we would have a role play activity that focuses on the development of speaking skills. And still in pairs, the students they should first come up with 3 or 4 questions to be used in an interview with a young activist. And the questions should be created taking into consideration the activist they have chosen to write a biography about. And they would be instructed to use WH questions. The teacher could give examples of questions that they could ask, such as, why do you think we should protect the environment? Or what is your project? And after writing down the questions on their notebooks or a collaborative tool, the pair should decide who would be the interviewer and ask the questions. and who would pretend to be the activist and answer according to the information on the biography they have written. I would set a 10-minute timer for this activity, but of course, this can be adapted. Besides, it's important to pay special attention to the students' performance and take notes on how their speaking skills can be developed in further lessons. Now, moving towards the end of class, the listening activity consists of watching a short animation video that lists 10 ways that we can take care of the environment in our daily lives. And to end the class in a chill and fun way, we would play round robin. It's a flexible brainstorming activity where all the students can participate. First, we would sit all together in a circle. Then, one student at a time would say a word or sentence in English using the vocabulary we studied during the class. For example, I could start by saying, take care of the environment. Then the student next to me could say recycle, and the next one climate change, and so on. And it's important that everyone takes part in the game, and the repetition of words or expressions, it should be avoided. Now, to call it a day, after playing the game for a few minutes, I would elicit the goals we had and what the students have worked on. And pretty much that's the end of the class. So on the lesson plan, I also added all the resources that would be necessary, including the links to videos and texts. Also, I made some remarks on a few aspects that I or other teachers should consider when using this lesson plan. For example, the text should be printed and the videos should be tested in advance. And it's also important that the pre-class activities are available to the students in time for them to prepare themselves for the lesson. Lastly, I would also comment on the fact that the lesson plan can be adapted according to the resources available, to the class size, so the amount of students, right? And the student's profile or their general level of proficiency in English. Well, thank you for following me along this lesson plan. Bye.